Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, everyone. This is the first of what's going to be probably about 11 more videos after this. I'm not sure. Of Masters of the Universe figures, because we're getting all hyped up over that Masters of the Universe movie that's coming out, the brand new one. Very, very excited. So I'm picking up as much Motu stuff as I can for us to have a look at. A lot of the Masterverse stuff has recently gone on sale at the Place I shop. Also managed to pick this up for $12 from Kmart. And just telling you, if you want a mint in box toy from Kmart, maybe go in and get it. Maybe don't order online because it was just in a bag. No padding, no nothing. And I mean, we're going to open this, so no fuss for me. But mint in box collector's probably going to be upset by this. So this here is one of the new crossover things that a lot of the toy series are doing. So you've seen a lot of crossover stuff with Transformers that I've done. Even, ironically, a Masters of the Universe Transformers crossover with 4 figs. You can see our He-Man in Optimus armor there. They have also done some Ninja Turtles crossovers. Not super interested in those. A bit more expensive than I really want to concentrate on. If I'm going to be paying that price, I want to get the Masterverse stuff. It's heaps cool. But, that being said, $12. I do, however, really like these Thundercats ones. Particularly because, as you see, they come with all different armor and stuff. You can see Panthro and the He-Man there. If you take off all of this Masters of the Universe gear that they've got on and swap in certain parts, so here his chest part and some ankles that we'll see once I open him up, you can just turn him into a pretty accurate Tygra with no Masters of the Universe stuff on him. And that seems really appealing to me. If I can get all of the Thundercats and Mumra looking as good as they ever have in toy form. So, yeah, there's our cross-sell. There's the very pretty picture we have. How am I going to do this? Let's move back a bit. So the art's always great. And there's Panther Man, Panther Man. Very cool. You can see some of the... Oh, look, you can put his mask on and take it off. Wow. What I've also done is I grabbed out... There was a reboot of Thundercats. Not terribly long ago. But I did get some of the action figures from that. All the main guys and the Mumra. So I grabbed out the Tygra for us to have a look at him. That's what he looked like in the reboot. Pretty cool. I liked it. And obviously all of our different series of He-people or He-men to look at. I've got a Masterverse He-Man ready for unboxing, but for this video we'll just have the Masterverse Zodak out here so we can see size differences and such. So I guess all that leaves is to rip him from his shell. Ta-da! And that goes away. And pop him down there. Is he all tied in? Let me have a look. Oh, he's fairly tied in, but I think I can pop all this stuff off. Something fell out. Oh, his helmet. There's his helmet. There's his other armor. There is his weapon. There's his alternate boots. And there he is. Tygra, all out of the packaging. And very, very cool. So, I'm not in this for the armoured version and look, but we'll have a quick look at it first. You can see he's got these really nice translucent armour pieces with some chain moulding. It's got a nice Thundercats logo on this. These are Tygra's armor here is the only armor of them so far that's been translucent. So it almost looks like he's got hologram armor or hard light hologram armor. So you got this big pauldron here. Kind of gets a little bit in the way of articulation. Moves a bit, but it feels like it'll snap off. He's also got these He-Man style braces. And then his Tygra straps. And these are the He-Man style boots. So we'll actually have to take the feet off and the ankles off to get his alternate stuff on. So let's look at those accessories. So here's his little helmet, which is basically if the Predator met Boba Fett. And, ooh, that clips on heaps nice. Wow. That's a really good snap-on. Still don't really like the armor stuff. So let's see if I can get him to stand up. Come on, Tygra. What's going on with his ankles? There you go, buddy. Stand. Alright. And there's his alternate shirt, which we're going to put on. With Thundercat logo. I don't think that's a sticker. Nah, that's all tamper-graphed on. And there's his big whip. So this is all kind of plasticky until you get to that there. And then it goes into an actual nylon rope. Ah. There. Finishing with a translucent yellow plastic handle. That's pretty cool. And then, yeah, just his Thundercat ankles. Fairly easy to work out which ones go on which side. So let's have a look at his destructions. Yep. You can show it's basically take off all his armor and switch his ankles and he's ready to go. But they do show that he already has his shirt on under this. But it's not on in the packaging. And we have a comic. The Power Sword of Omens. So, in terms of the crossovers, yeah, Transformers, that's fine. Yeah, Turtles, that's fine. Thundercats and Masters of the Universe have a very magic sword central storyline. So having them crossover is pretty cool. We're not going to read the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. But, ooh, look, there's... What's his name? Skelra. I think it's Skelra. Yeah. Skelra is not to be... Hang on. Let's try my best. Original Skeletor voice.
Skelra is not to be trifled with.
I've done worse. But there we go. That's the comic. So, all that's left to do now is to strip him and tear him apart. But first of all, that's all of our size comparisons. So we have a remake of the original He-Man. Our other crossover, He-Man in Prime Armor. We have our cartoon collection, 2002 He-Man. And then a new Eternia Masterverse Zodak. Almost forgot everyone's names then. So there's all our size comparisons. Alrighty, it's going to be the easiest way to do this. So his armor just pops off there. Guess we'll have to rip his head off. All good. We're gonna have to take his chest off. Or his waist. Hang on. Ugh. And for this, we can just put it on over there. Yes, working so far. And try and squeeze it over here. Oof. That is a tight fit. Yeah, I'm going to rip this arm off. Thank God these are the modular figures of the Masters lines. Yeah, and put the arm back on. I think that's on. Yep, not coming out. Do we take off the loincloth? Yes, we do. Loincloth goes as well. We've got to take off his hands so we can get off those braces. Whoop. That's alright, we'll get them later. It's falling in the open desk I have underneath the camera. Okay, they go back on. But we do leave the blue bits on. Yeah, those blue straps stay on. And plug right in there. Oof, tight fit. So what do we do here? Let's just rip the whole thing off. Yep. And rip the whole thing off. Yep. And off comes the armor. Now we need to unplug each of the foots. And oh, that's a bit tight, that one. There we go. And I've always said in the reviews doing these, I don't like pulling these figures apart. I'm worried I'm going to break them. So once this is changed over to his Thundercat form, it is staying as his Thundercat form. So first of all, we need to put on some booties. Oh, that's all nice and tight. Where's the other booty gone? Oh, that's all nice and tight and on. And then footsies, make sure we put them on the right side. Peg back in there. Oof, that's a bit tight. So it's sort of an angle when you peg it back on. As you can see, it doesn't go straight into the foot, it goes at an angle. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, we're almost done. I thought I would have much more trouble with this because I shake and I don't have a lot of strength in my hands. It's a discussion for another day as to why that is. There we go, so that's his pants. We can put that back on. And where's his head? And there we have, giving him his whip too, because we haven't even looked at that in his hand yet. There we have an outstanding and relatively cheap version of a very good, hang on, I need to twist all this around properly. Relatively cheap version of a very good looking Thundercats. Come on, you stupid thing. Thundercats. Go. Thundercats Tygra. It's coming. His ankle joints are very, very tight. There we go. And that is our Tygra. Looking outstanding. So, I think we might have to delve a bit more into these Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossovers, particularly because once you remove all of the stuff I didn't want on him, which is an awful lot, there he goes, he is a great looking original Thundercat. Alright, I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you enjoyed your Easter. Stay good, kitty. And yeah, I'll see you next time, and that's when we're going to start our big long line of Masterverse figures reviews. Getting all excited for that new Masters of the Universe movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, I forgot to say that at the top of the video. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.